I was a woke leftist. Insane.
Try to get you with one of them woke traps. Say, hey, we going to a gay wedding tomorrow. How do you feel about that? Oh, it's good, it's good. Don't fall into the woke trap at all now.
It is astounding how often we hear about wokeness from people who have no idea what woke actually means and where it stems from.
We will never ever surrender to the woke mob. Florida is where woke goes to die.
I think they mean black.
Finally, a great Marvel movie without a bunch of woke bullshit politics in it. Thank you. Finally, a happy fan.
I don't want a woke version of color.
Yeah, I don't, yo.
You wanna hear the trailer?
We said we woke up because we won't allow anyone else to do this to us without us fighting back. And so when you say I'm anti-woke, when you talk about wokeness, you're saying I'm anti-black and I don't want black people to speak up for themselves. I don't want equality and justice for black folks. So I say to those that say wokeness, we're anti-woke. This is not wokeness, what we talked about in here. And you should be on the side of folks who are woke because we're saying no more oppression against our community.
We at the Back of the Bus want to thank Kaizoku Sleven for joining us on this journey in exposing woke and the co-opting of the word's usage. Not only has he been amazing help through providing his insights, but if you haven't seen part 1 to this series, it's on his channel now, and part 2 is here on the Back of the Bus. Also, we want to thank the viewers for taking the time to hear our thoughts on woke. Therefore, stick around to the end and we'll tell you how you can win a $100 gift card. Now let's get into the video.
We need to talk about how gun violence is often a daily occurrence for young black and brown people in our communities and all over the world.
Okay, first of all, my outfit is just so lefty. I have this huge afro, which I like pulled back into like this afro mohawk. I've got the artsy pants on. Who did I think I was? I was a woke leftist. Insane. Who did I honestly think that I thought I was Angela Davis.
So
what the hell does that even mean?
I could not tell you.
My whole outfit was very lefty because you decided to wear your afro like your natural hair.
Yes.
Plenty of women do that.
Absolutely.
That makes no sense to me.
Her story is not unique. It is a carbon copy cookie cutter conservative contributor stock story.
Mm-hmm.
It's Dave Rubin, obviously your girl here. Who else is an ex-leftist? Candace Owens.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very unique. It's meant to be put as some sort of signal or a whistle to, you know, kind of your outcast in the black community, or some of your individuals who have maybe found it harder to kind of mesh into the, you know, some of the more stereotypical things that people think of when they think of black people, you know, rap music and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
You know, your anime people, your genre fantasy people, your D&D folks. You know what I mean? Like there are outcasts of black people who are actually black.
She's obviously having this first of all, it's a very surface level conversation about the speech that she just gave. I mean, she was talking about some real things. I don't know if that's just self-hate or, again, I mean, she's getting the bag, so, you know, obviously that comes with a little.
I don't think specifically with that part is self-hate. I think it's more so the fact that she was on the other side and now she's over there, she's caping.
Yeah.
So she has to throw a little something out there so that everybody can laugh in her comment section.
You already know you're about to get some bullshit when they're preferencing, hey, now you may not agree with this shit you're about to hear, but if you're a person who can stomach that type of stuff, stick around. I have some stuff for you. Look, she's setting a nasty plate already.
Charlotte McGay.
I haven't seen the trailer, but Color Purple is one of those movies that I feel like in 2023 they would water it down a lot.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Listen, Sierra.
Yeah, I don't think they need to do that.
I just think they would water it down, so I can't see a 2023. I don't want a woke version of Color Purple.
Yeah, I don't, yo.
You want to hear the trailer? This is probably the most egregious of all of it, because look at the setup, look at the platform, look who's saying it, look at the context that he's using it in. This is the Breakfast Club. You got Jess Hilarious, DJ Envy, and Charlemagne the God. Right? As far as black aesthetics go, it don't get no blacker than that. And so even in this space, their language has permeated us, and now we're using it. Now we're using the co-opted version of our a language to describe something, or to talk about the detriment of something that just so happens to be black. You know what I mean? It's one thing to have a critique of Color Purple. It's one thing to think that with modern moral standards and different type of cultural changes that we've gone through since the original Color Purple has come out, that maybe it doesn't fit the audience that it's attempting to pull out. Maybe saying that some of the harsher tones of intimate partner violence or abuse are tones that maybe we don't want to delve into or put on the black community at this time. See, all of those things are very well thought out concerns and critiques. Woke, once again, is a critique of any and everything that is not predominantly white straight male. That's just what it is. If you're not that, you could fall under the umbrella of woke. And so it's one thing for someone to force that language on you. It's one thing for someone to try to kind of infiltrate your language, take a word, and now make it something that is used to criticize you, right? But then for you to flip around with all the history with a Charlemagne, like 35 years old. So probably
I think he's over 40.
Is he 40?
He's 45.
45 years old. Shit, bro, your mom could have been a Panther.
I don't necessarily see the reason to call it woke, but at the same time, I do find it a problem for all these remakes. It's not original, but when it comes to Charlemagne calling it a woke version, I think that's just, him just jumping on the bandwagon and acting like he doesn't know what's happening, or he doesn't know that it's co-opt. So he's just using that in order for, to gain some kind of revenue or basically get more views of people who fall in line with that ideology, thinking that woke is something that's, negative.
There's a clip out there where he specifically states,
I'm on record letting y'all know I hate wokeness, all right? But not the conservatives' definition of wokeness. I hate wokeness in the form of people who just want to destroy without attempting to build. Don't just tear me down. I would think that if you don't like something, then you know why you don't like something. More importantly, I would expect you to even know what that something is, okay? I would expect you to know what that something is you don't like.
Is this nigga serious?
He understands full and well the original version of the word woke, but he still uses the new co-opted version of woke.
Which means you are more comfortable using a co-opted version of your language than you are solidifying your own, and that's kind of the point.
In the old days, if somebody wanted your job, they just worked harder than you. Now, if somebody wants your job, they just wait for you to say some dumb shit. Try to get you with one of them woke traps. Say, hey, we going to a gay wedding tomorrow. How do you feel about that? Oh, it's good, it's good. Don't fall into the woke trap at all now. Motherfuckers typing out woke-ass tweets on a phone made by child slaves. One person does something, they get canceled. Somebody else does the exact same thing, nothing.
Chris Rock is I would say, see, the guy, Charlemagne, was the most egregious. Chris is the most obvious. Chris Rock has never had a problem shedding his blackness for money or more clout. From letting white comedians say nigger at Eminem.
Right, and they were doing like right in his face. And funny thing is, the Seinfeld had to be the one to be like, yo, I don't think this is funny.
Absolutely.
That's weird to me. Like the only black dude in the room allowed two random white dudes to start using the N-word with the hard ER, and then continue to make jokes about that with them I understand that it's just a word, but at the same time, they should understand that them using the word causes problems. He's one of those celebrities who, you know, wants to get more, I would say, non-melanated views. So he'll say some shit that'll probably, you know, garner some favor outside the Black community. So Chris Rock has been doing that for a while, and he's actually been getting criticized for that. The fact that a lot of his jokes are very anti-Black, or they favor the laughter of non-Black people.
Mm-hmm.
So that this doesn't surprise me at all that he's using woke.
Not a very good moment there for Chris Rock. But again, has never really been a guy that I have trusted in terms of staying on code when he's in certain circles. You can just tell with certain people.
Finally! Thank you, James Gunn! Thank you, whoever is responsible for this decision. If it's not James Gunn, if it's James Gunn and several other people at Disney, Marvel, thank you. Finally, a great Marvel movie without a bunch of woke bullshit politics in it. Thank you. Finally, a happy fan.
Seemingly spearheaded the entire conversation here. I know this is what started the discussion amongst you and Marcus.
Yeah, pretty much.
The infamous Tyrone Magnus.
Tyrone Magnus.
Him going off about the woke politics bullshit. So
yeah, especially with that part where you paused it. That was the part where I'm like, yo, this dude tap dancing like crazy.
The crazy smile. Yeah. The whole thing.
This is a whole minstrel act right here. Like,
absolutely.
I've watched a lot of his content. I watched a lot of his reviews. I hear how this man is able to go into detail. I hear how this man is able to carefully give out his viewpoint. What is it about this word that just makes it so easy for it now to become an everything word? Like what's so hard about saying, hey, we didn't have any mantle swaps in this movie. We didn't have any race swaps in this movie. Right? We didn't have any deconstruction of older characters that we previously knew and loved. All three of those things considered woke, by the way. None of them have to do with politics or morals either.
Like I said before, I get the point. I get the deeper message. Like we want to see like comic accurate stories and like good stories that doesn't involve a whole bunch of BS that we gotta deal with in real life. But then at the same time, it's like, what are you doing? This is the exact thing. This is exactly how I feel whenever I see Black people using the co-opted version of woke. I'm like, what are you doing? Because nobody calls them out in it, so they're gonna keep doing it, and they're gonna keep getting views. And guess who gives them the views? The people who understand the co-opted version of woke. I mean, at least with like other folk who like have criticism with what Marvel and like Hollywood are doing, kind of like, for instance, a lot of people give him a lot of BS, but I kind of like fall in line with what he talks about because I'm also a longtime comic reader. Ripper, like at least with him, he's not spamming the word woke. Like he's not like he knows what it means, but you can tell like he has almost the same arguments, but he's not doing the same thing that the other grifters are doing.
Co-opting and following the crowd for reverence isn't new. It's honestly just human nature. In each generation of Black society, these individuals have taken on a new label. From the house Negro, to Uncle Tom, to Sambo, to Coon, to Snitch, and nowadays, the Ops. In reality, none of these labels really mean anything, because you'll definitely find people who will proudly wear that moniker. It should be their actions that matter more when it comes to identifying who is under the Iron Mask. Anytime a Thomas Sowell poster is framed in the background, you already know what time it is. Anyone who loves reiterating the "I have a dream" speech, anyone with ability to double dutch between racial lines due to an identity crisis, Anytime heavily melanated individuals have a Beverly Hills Becky speech pattern, anybody tap dancing for the dominant society's validation, you should expect off-code behavior. And those are just a few characteristics they exhibit. But now, they've aligned themselves with the ever-popular trend of the day, when majority of them are old enough to understand how the word woke is being misinterpreted. In all honesty, some of us became too awake and obviously need a serious nap, thereby creating the lane for Negropeans to jump on a new wave, picking up some scraps to make some cha-ching while at it. This is how they eat, and I'm not even mad, because it's a lucrative hustle, as you can see. Just wish dignity was considered before avoiding the middle ground and jumping to extremes.
So what do? Do we begin to go against our better nature and viciously shun any outsider that dares play in our sandbox? Nah. Do we become hermits, hide ourselves and our language away from the world? Nope. Do we abandon the Eurocentric idea of correctness or properness and begin to take pride in our contributions that we've made to the English language, including but not limited to our own dialect in AAVE? Fuck yeah. Do we take more ownership publicly over our culture and how it's represented, even if that means criticizing someone from our own community? Damn straight. Stay true to yourself and your blackness. Period.
A comment in our original 2 videos mentioned a black woman by the name of Kimberly Crenshaw and called for us to bring up her creation of the term intersectionalism to describe the overlapping social identities, specifically minority identities, i.e. being black and a woman, or being black and a member of the LGBT. While attempting to highlight issues that plague specifically black women and black femininity has its place, the usage of intersectionalism and similar verbiage helped spearhead the co-opting of our language. After all, intersectionalism was initially mentioned in her essay, demarginalizing the intersection of race and sex. And yet now, that phrase has been co-opted by members of the LGBT and white feminist movements. Ironic enough, Crenshaw was also a leading scholar of critical race theory. It has become all too clear that whenever we come up with terms and phrases to highlight our plight within America, we have become too liberal and too friendly in allowing others to highlight their struggles in that same light.
Message!
The first part of the Woke video series was dropped on Juneteenth, a day that boasts the final enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves. The second part of the Woke video series was dropped on the 4th of July, a day where the U.S. signed the Declaration of Independence and claimed its independence from the British. This video is also a special day in history, so we wanted to commemorate it. A $100 gift card will be given to the first person in the comments who was able to guess the exact reason as to why we chose this date. Good luck, viewers. Thanks again for checking out this video today. Thanks for checking out all of the videos in the Woke series. And make sure to subscribe to the Back of the Bus and Kaizoku Sleven's channels for more amazing insights on the culture.